Hi, everybody. I just realized I was on mute. Hey, everybody. Please excuse the appearance of the studio slash my room office. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Munsters trailer because a lot of people think it's super weird. They don't really know what to think of it, or maybe they do. And I don't know. I'm going to rewatch it. I've already watched it, but I want to rewatch it, and then we could discuss it. Because there's a lot to unpack here. People seem like they're not sure how to feel about it. I have my own feelings about it. But let's watch it, and then we'll get into it. So let's press play here. So old Universal picture kind of logo. And then you get this kind of campy vibe to this.
I don't like the sound of that.
It just looks like a made-for-DVD kind of movie. Kind of an origin story, I guess. Even the audio sounds like one of those really cheaply made for under like $5,000 kind of movies. Obviously these sets have a little bit of money in them, but the colors are pretty harsh. It's pretty vibrant actually, and it's obviously the acting is a little bit tongue-in-cheek, super campy. A lot like the Munsters series and a lot of the TV movies they made back in the day. I wish they had just done it in black and white proper. I think it would have sold the effect more. It feels like almost like they filmed the stage play a little bit. I think it's going to be a little ridiculous. It's weird that it's not obviously like this looks fine. If there's part of me, I don't know how familiar people are with the original Munsters movies and stuff they made for TV, but it's definitely giving me those vibes. Like that it's nailing that like kooky, campy, almost like cheaply done kind of thing.
That's a strange way of saying hello.
It's just I just don't know what to think. Like I don't know what angle they're going for with this. It definitely is trying to kind of Teddy Belcher says Beetleborg, Herman. It's definitely feels like something that they made in like mid '90s, kind of like a TV movie vibe. Which obviously that's what they're going for, but the budget for this thing is kind of outrageous for what it seems like we're getting. Hold on, I think it's $40 million, and I feel like something like this is definitely, I mean, you could use the whole budget, but I really feel like $40 million is a lot, especially to do something at this level. I'm trying to find the actual price or an actual budget of this movie. I believe it's $40 million. And they've wrapped, it says filming wrapped July 7th, so it wrapped a day before they put out this trailer. I know I'm a couple days late to reviewing it. Teddy says throw up in my mouth. I get it. But on another hand, where did all the money go? Like what did the money go into the sets? Did it go straight to the actors and the crew? Like what cost $40 million here? I'm really trying to find the the full budget for this, but it's not coming up. But I had read elsewhere that it was 40 million. So this is interesting. The cast for this, Sheri Moon Zombie, I think Rob Zombie's wife, is playing Lily Munster. Cassandra Peterson is playing Barbara. Obviously Elvira. Daniel Roebuck is playing Grandpa Munster. Daniel Phillips is playing Herman Munster. And then there's George Garcia from Lost is playing Floop. But there's a lot of other people here that I'm not too familiar with, playing characters that I'm not familiar with. So Sylvester McCoy is playing Igor. Sylvester McCoy from Doctor Who fame, in The Hobbit. So that's a cool name that's in this ensemble cast. But I really don't know what to think about this. I'm a big Munsters fan. I used to watch the movies all the time. Used to watch the show pretty regularly. And this seems kind of ridiculous, honestly. I just don't know how to take it. I mean, obviously this is a short... these are short cuts from the movie. I don't know what the context is. They're kind of billing it as Herman and Lily's kind of love story. Like they're meeting the kind of creation of the monsters. The Munsters. Obviously Eddie is not around yet. At least from the trailer, we can't really see if he's going to pop up later. I always liked Eddie and Grandpa stuff. But this is going to be pretty interesting. I really don't know what to make of it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Rob Zombie, I'm not, if I'm being honest, I'm not a fan of a lot of his other movies. Didn't really do it for me. Maybe Grindhouse was pretty good. I did not like his version of Halloween at all. Not really a fan of his stuff. I like his music. I like White Zombie stuff. I like some of the Rob Zombie stuff, but his movies are not really my thing. Devil's Rejects is okay, I guess. But everything else, I don't know. So I don't know what his comedy chops are like, because, Munsters is supposed to be funny. It's not supposed to be just like campy vibes, and that's it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I really don't know what to think. I probably will go see this, and check it out in the theater when it comes out. Maybe not on premiere night, but maybe in a couple nights, unless you guys really want to see a review or a reaction to this, which I think the sheer curiosity of what this is going to be is going to get people to see it in theaters. I don't think a lot of people, especially younger people, are familiar with the Munsters, and I don't know if this is going to be a good resurgence or bring back the Munsters at all. Actually, it might drive them further away, depending on how actually funny it is, and actually how well it emulates the original Munsters. So we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see what the follow-up trailers bring. So I don't know. I just don't know what to think of this. It's something else. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I really hope this first trailer kind of threw people off the scent a little bit. Again, it is definitely a lot, taking a lot of inspiration from the TV movies of the Munsters from like back when, and it's definitely emulates that style and that feel. Even in the how they record the audio, it's very like. There's like a tin canniness to it. There's like an openness to it. So they're not like, I don't know if they mic'd them properly and added that effect later, but there's some technical things that they do that are, very likened to the time when they used to make those TV movies. So if that's what Rob Zombie was setting out to do, then he accomplished it. The only thing is, I think with the budget they have, like making something like this is a little insane. But I don't know. It might expand further. It might. Let's see. I really want to see if I could find the budget for it. Rob Zombie movie budget. Let's see. Let's just do a quick Google. IMDb does not have it. The budget stands at 30 to 40 million. Yeah. 30 to 40 million for making kind of like a Hollywood TV movie, basically, with an old property. Jake says there are a lot of people on social media who are hardcore capping for it. They seem to want to shield it from criticism. I'm on the fence because I do like that era of movies, but it seems almost, I don't know, there's something egregious about making a $40 million movie look like it was made for TV. It seems kind of ridiculous to me, honestly. I get it. I get what the vibe is. I get the style they're going for. I get why they chose things. Obviously, Rob Zombie wasn't very intentional with the way he chose how to shoot things and how to mic them, and a lot of the gags, a lot of the slapstick stuff. But I don't think the Munsters was just that. I think it was more than just like a weird, campy, stylistic thing. I think there was more to it. There's definitely a lot of heart in the Munsters. There's plenty of slapstick comedy too, but I think it always had a good balance. And some of them were shot fairly well. So not all of them look like that. Not all the Munsters movies look like that. Here, I forget the name of it, but there's one I had in the early days of DVDs. I think it was just the Munsters movie. One of the original ones. I think from the 60s. No, I don't think it was this one. Not the Munsters Go Home. Or maybe it was. There's one where they're in a... they're like kind of going through a museum. Let me see if I could find the exact one, because that one was my favorite. And that one was shot... that one was definitely shot better. Shot better than some of the other made-for-TV ones, unless I just saw a better cut of it where they cleaned it up a little bit more or something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's just a lot there's a lot going on here. Let's see. We have some comments here. Looks like a pastiche gone wrong, like a Disney Channel movie. Yeah, exactly. Again, I think that's what Zombie was going for, but I think having the whole movie like that might do a disservice to the property. But again, this is just the first trailer. I think it is trying to get some attention, because the Munsters do not have as much clout as they did back in the day. A lot of, especially younger people, do not know what the Munsters is. Unless you kind of grew up with it and were introduced like in the TV Land days or Nick at Night. I don't know what was exactly on, but Gary says it is very evident from the history of the franchise that there is only one actor who can perfectly play Herman, and he can't be replaced no matter how many times they have tried. Well, yes. On another hand, I do agree. I feel like that cast was so definite, and Fred Gwynne, I always forget how to pronounce his last name, did such a great job. He is Herman Munster. So it's hard to replicate just his natural, like that role was him. So it's hard to replicate that, so it ends up feeling almost like a caricature of that character rather than the character proper. Felix is saying trying to cash in on nostalgia. Yes, I think. I don't know if this is the way to do it. I feel like if you want to cash in on nostalgia, you kind of pay homage to it more. And this in a sense pays homage to the style, but I'm concerned it's not going to pay homage to the actual show itself. I know the style is part of what made the show kind of special and funny and camp. I mean, it wasn't trying. I don't think it was trying to be campy back in the day. It was just the techniques they had, and the way they shot things, and they shot it on a very specific budget with the equipment at the time. So like, I think just paying homage to it and just making it that style. I don't know if it serves the actual characters as well and the original story. I think it's a story about a family. Obviously, it's very funny, slapsticky kind of thing, and everybody's really goofy in it. But I think you could do that without having that made-for-TV movie kind of stylistic choice. Felix said Howard Stern loved the classic Munster show. He also loves Rob Zombie. Wonder what he thinks. Not sure. I don't listen to Stern too much, but I'm sure he'll have some words maybe in the next week or so. I don't know. Jake says Addams Family are easy to market. The 90s movies kept it in the public consciousness. Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like, especially the new animated Addams Family movies, I really liked. I thought it did a good job of bringing them to the new generation. Obviously, it's hard to replicate the original cast, but the 90s cast did a fantastic job. That's how I was introduced when I was a kid. And then I went backwards and watched the show, and I'm a pretty big fan of the Addams Family stuff, old and new, especially the new ones. I thought they were great. I thought they were funny. I thought they were really great for like kind of a family market. And I think they're doing a really good job with that property right now. But the Munsters, I don't know. I don't know. Jake is saying, regardless of which ends up being the better film, the Wednesday Addams movie will eclipse Zombies Munster as far as attention goes. I think so too. I think Wednesday Addams and the Addams Family in general have been able to, due to some talented, writers and producers and people that really love the property, they've been able to stay in the, pop culture lexicon for a while when, the Munsters haven't, frankly. Never hear anybody mention, that's so like Herman Munster of you, or that's so grandpa of you. So, I mean, but Wednesday Addams is like, any goth person is, people relate them to Wednesday Addams. Or, people who say kind of goofy stuff like Gomez and Morticia are like couples goals kind of thing. Like, there's just like little things in the kind of pop culture lexicon that still, pull from Addams Family or reference Addams Family. So Jake's absolutely right. I think the Wednesday Addams movie is going to kill, especially with the newer movies that had come out. So Addams Family is there. People are aware of it. It is still around, and people, for the most part, like it. Gary's saying also we all knew Sheri wasn't going to capture Lily's essence perfectly, but I could have lived with that. Herman, though, super botched. This is the Munsters now, too. This franchise is through. I feel like this franchise needs to be given to somebody with like sitcom chops that kind of gets it a little more, or comedy chops. I hesitate to say somebody like Dan Harmon, who did, Community, he did Rick and Morty. I feel like the style of like a Community, or even like Bill Lawrence, who did Scrubs, who did Cougar Town, who's doing Ted Lasso now. I feel like those people would treat this so much better because they come from sitcom, and they know how to do things on a bigger level too. And I think somebody like those two. I mean, there's definitely other good people that could do this. The Russo Brothers, who also come from Community. They did Happy Endings. They did a lot of sitcom before they got off into like Avengers world and Marvel stuff and bigger things. I think would do a fantastic job with something like the Munsters, and really give it kind of some heart. And not kind of underserve it or just go for the stylistic choice. You could be campy, but you could do both. You could have the best of both worlds, especially on Community, which Dan Harmon and the Russo brothers both worked on. I believe they were executive producers, and they even show ran for that one season that people really didn't like, but they obviously have grown as filmmakers. I think somebody like that would be able to really take this franchise to a new level, introduce it to a new audience, and really serve it. Serve the old one well and bring it to a new era and update it a little bit. But I just don't know. I just don't know about this version. Again, I really love the Munsters. I'm not a big fan of Rob Zombie's movies. I just don't like his style. So I guess we'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'm going to leave it there. We'll find out. Maybe we'll talk about this movie more as more information comes out in another trailer. But I'm going to leave it there because I don't know. I don't want to judge it too harshly on the first trailer, especially because they're going to try to build press for this movie, and putting out something kind of really schlocky and campy might get, we're talking about it, so it worked. Might get the PR mill going. But let me know your thoughts below. If you're watching this after the stream, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Really appreciate that. And I'll talk to everybody really soon. See you later.